Hey everyone, on YouTube you will find numerous people doing really dumb shit. And by dumb shit I mean stuff like you wouldn't expect them to put out on YouTube because you would expect them to like keep it secretly, and them recording it doesn't really add much. And the best example I found today was this video where one YouTuber called Tommy G collaborated with another person who's pretty infamous for like making his money by scamming people online, that being Punchmade Dev. And the whole intention of this video was like give out advice on how to not get scammed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tommy G. Today we're diving into the world of scamming. Everything you're about to see is purely reenactment and for educational purposes only, so you don't get scammed like people like this. Today we meet one of the most famous scammers on the internet, Punchmade Dev. He's made a name for himself as one of the biggest scam rappers on the internet with songs like How to Write a Dump and Punch Anthem. On his social media platforms, he flaunts an absurd amount of money and jewelry. Today, I ask him about the most common scams people are pulling right now so that we the people can better learn how to protect ourselves from scammers like him. The goal of this documentary is twofold. First, to be aware of how scammers operate, and second, to encourage viewers to be the hero and not the villain. Not only is scamming a loser way to make money, but it also can carry a heavy penalty of up to 20 years in prison. The reenactments you are about to see are for educational purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Which sounds really nice, but it becomes quickly apparent that like Tommy G doesn't really care about giving actual advice because he's being really friendly with Dev, even though the whole video was meant to like go against scammers just like him. And I want to give a quick summary on Dev because even though in the video Tommy makes him sound like really popular and famous, to be honest I've never really heard of him before. You would believe that he's well known, but if you go to his YouTube where like he uploads like his music videos about scams, his most popular one has like around 1 million views, which is a lot, don't get me wrong, but Tommy definitely makes him sound greater, so it's only normal to expect him to be like bigger online. However, he does at least have some like connection with like bigger people, but that doesn't really mean much because the person I'm talking about is Adin Ross. With one occasion where Dev got like Adin's payment details and he went to a Walmart to buy a TV with his money, so Adin screamed like a cuck, yelling at him not to do it, but then Dev got caught because he was like chased out of the store, probably because the store was like suspicious of his payment method, and also because he was wearing a fucking ski mask. So he clearly isn't an expert at what he's doing, which is why this video by Tommy G is so painful to watch, because even though in the beginning he says that this video is purely meant to be like educational, the video is like nothing like that. It just feels like a 12-year-old who's friends with a teenager, which in his eyes like he believes is cool, but in reality he's just a piece of shit. And I'm not gonna take a side on this video because both of them are brain dead. Tommy G for like trying to make him sound really cool, and Dev because he's just getting footage of him like committing a crime and he doesn't even care.
Do you think you're a bad guy?
I feel like it's worse people.
Robin Hood was well liked because he took from the rich and gave to the poor.
Yeah.
Do you view yourself as a modern day Robin Hood?
Take from the rich and give to the poor. I really take from the poor and then the rich is me.
So is there like an exit strategy in the scammer world? Because I feel like your clock's ticking.
My clock's ticking.
I mean, eventually, right? I mean, even Al Capone got, you know?
I'm not Al Capone, I'm Punchmade Dev, undefeated.
What's your guys' take on scamming?
The government scamming. They doing billion-dollar scams. What's the little millions and shit we taking? What's that gonna hurt?
I love how he tries to start to like compare him to Robin Hood, but then he like denies it and just says that he robbed some poor people. So I can see like how as a fan you can try to defend them, and you can clearly tell like mentally he's still a kid because he justifies with what he's doing that like there are people out there in the world doing worse stuff, with his friends having the same mindset, saying like they don't see as what they're doing as being wrong. But now Chicken the Power gets worse because they drive to a bank and Dev finds like someone's account, but the problem is he doesn't really talk about like how the person could have taken better security to avoid losing his money. All he does is just show like the person's account on his laptop while Tommy's like walking around the parking lot talking to people about scams.
I'm about to hit a wire.
What does that mean?
Log in and wire some money out.
Tommy's trying to learn how to scam. That's what Tommy's trying to do.
No, the goal of this episode is to learn how to protect the people at home from this type of tomfoolery. How much are you gonna clean this guy out?
If they'll give me 20, I'll do it.
What's gonna happen? You're gonna walk in there, you're gonna wire transfer money to yourself from someone else's account. How quick is all this gonna happen, you think?
10 minutes.
Have you ever known someone that's been scammed?
No, but I've almost been scammed myself.
How did you almost get scammed?
Well, I mean, people call you every day. Somebody called me yesterday and told me I had $2,500 worth of vacation points. I've never signed up for anything.
What should be the punishment for a scammer?
There
Probation?
should definitely be a punishment. I don't know what the punishment should be. A jury should determine that.
Fair enough. Has anyone attempted to scam you before?
Yes,
How do they do it?
with my debit.
And what happened to you when they tried to scam you?
I just found a charge on my debit card that I didn't do. This was in Arizona.
How much was it for?
It wasn't a lot. It was only about $80.
Did the bank refund you?
They did.
What should be the punishment for scammers?
I'm not sure.
I'm surprised he didn't have like a step-by-step guide on how he got the personal account. I'm not saying he should have, but I wouldn't be shocked if he kept it in the video.
I got their balance right there, 430K. I'm about to wire that to this account that I got my hands on. I'm gonna try to just do a quick 10 real quick.
How nice of you, Dev. You're only taking 10 racks instead of
20, 10,000. All right, let's do it. Hello. Good. How are you? Good. What can I do for you? I just want to make a withdrawal today, please.
Yeah, no problem. Do you have
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. Whenever you're ready, you can either insert it or just
Okay.
You
Tommy,
alright?
nice to
What
meet
up,
you.
son, man?
Derek, why do you think scamming's become so popular?
Fast.
What do you guys think when kids look up to you?
It's actually pretty crazy.
You don't want to work for 50 years, your back broke, and then you can finally do what you want because you finally got some money.
How long do you guys want to be in the game for before you're...
I want to be like probably 30, then invest.
Forever, nigga.
Thank you. Free 10.
Let me sniff it to make sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are you going to do with this $10,000?
I might give it back.
He even gets out the car to go to the bank and wire $10,000. And it's funny seeing him say like he might give it back, because I know for a fact that he only said that to be put in the video and he had no intention of giving it back, because throughout the entire video it's never shown him returning it. He only said that, so like there's an implication that he did, but I'm really sure he didn't. But it gets worse, because the procedure goes to a gas station where he talks about like the equipment he uses.
How much does this cost?
Can't be no more than like 100.
And how much has this made you?
It's like over 500K.
So if someone says they're a certified dumper, this is what they're talking about.
They could either be the person getting the dumps with the skimmer, or they could be the person writing them up using them. Say like I know somebody working at McDonald's, right? I'll give them a skimmer and they work through the drive-thru. Just say somebody's buying something right now, right? They'll pay, right? And then my person will quickly go like this, swiping on the from my end, and that's when I get all the info. End of the day, I have like a list of like 20 of them. I'm about to wipe this one empty. I'm about to write up a dump on it for y'all.
Is the FBI looking into you? Because how are you not in federal prison at this point?
I know what I'm doing. You got a VPN, a proxy server, RDP.
That's pretty bad, but the fact that Tommy kept it in the video is even worse, because he has like full reign of like the editing process and like what's kept on the final cut. Actually, the way this whole video is edited makes Dev look really cool, to the point that if you were to remove like the first minute with all the warnings that this is like educational, it would just look like a normal interview with Dev. It just feels like he's condoning it, because he talks about like how cashiers at McDonald's can use skimmers to get someone's credit card details. So he's just giving out actual like methods on how to become a scammer. He even goes on to say how he avoids getting arrested by using a VPN. So in reality, this video is a pretty good guide on how to become a scammer and how to not get arrested. And all Tommy does is just put like the minimum effort to just say that all people have to do is just lock their account.
And the way someone stops this is by hitting lock on their bank account, right?
Yeah.
And that clip that I just showed you is only a few seconds long, and like that's all Tommy wants to put in as like advice, so the video is considered like educational, to the point that it feels like he's trying to like reach a quota so the video doesn't get taken down. And the part after where he compares himself to like Michael Jordan and LeBron James in terms of scamming, which is something a kid at a playground would say to like make himself look cooler.
As far as scamming goes, do you feel like you're NBA level scammer?
Oh, I'm like LeBron of the scamming and Michael Jordan combined.
The piece of shit goes on to like get an account from someone who has $600 just so he can like blow it on stuff like a gas station, and Tommy defends it by saying like, oh, you just get reimbursed.
Are they gonna eat this cost or the bank eat this cost?
The bank's gonna eat it. They really gonna.
You're sure?
For something small like this, that was a wire that'd be like 10 to 14.
This is when you get a message on your phone, like,
Yeah.
was this you? And you just
Yeah.
say no, and then they reimburse you.
Give it back in like less than 24 hours.
But even then, that feels like such a lazy mentality to have on why this is okay. Especially because after we feel like the victim was a guy working at like McDonald's who just finished a 10-hour shift, and all Dev says is, oh yeah, he worked hard.
I heard the guy that's card that is was working hard at McDonald's for 10 hours for that money.
Oh yeah, he's working very hard.
The part that comes next like pisses me off the most, because he tries to like pay for everyone's stuff at the gas station, which is only like 5 people. So he just like tried like the bare minimum to make himself look like a good guy, because he knew like the video would blow up. So he wanted to make himself look better than he actually is. And again, Tommy, like a moron, makes Steph sound like a genius, because he used like a credit card method to like pay for the stuff that he brought up in the song before, and he proceeds to show it in the video just so people can do it as well.
He's just running his credit.
This is directly from his song.
The clerk gon' let you swipe the card after you jam the chip. After it ain't working 2 times, she'll let you use the strip.
It didn't decline?
No, I didn't fly. I never fly. Sometimes they try to make you use the chip, but that's why you just jam the chip and make it purposely decline.
So what you just did, you follow a step-by-step of your own instruction from the
Yes.
song. How does an ordinary person stop that from happening to them?
There's no way.
There's also this part where like one woman would say she would like punch a scammer if she ever met one, and Tommy like antagonizes her by making him seem two-sided.
Has anyone ever tried to scam you before?
Yeah, of course.
In what way? How do they try and do it?
Oh, I got almost scammed on a puppy thing online.
You had to pay a down payment for a puppy and then there was no puppy?
They were trying to with like fake pictures, and then I just canceled it because I said this feels like a scam.
What do you think should happen to a scammer if they get caught?
I mean, there should be some sort of legal repercussion.
What do you think?
That's tough to say.
What would you say if you met a scammer in real life?
You'd probably punch him.
Ooh.
I don't know why we all look at you.
You can put that up here. Everything's free today.
I know, I said the same thing. They call him what?
Punch Made Dev.
Okay, who is he?
Punch Made Dev, how would you describe yourself?
A great person. Very caring.
Also,
Nice.
he would describe himself as a rapper and a scammer.
Oh, okay.
Internet's most famous scammer.
Oh, goodness. Well, good for him. He's doing good doing it, I guess.
That touched me.
What we doing?
The duality of man, folks. The yin and yang of life, huh? We just went into a and he came out with $10,000 cash.
It works. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's funny how their tune changes as soon as the scammer is helping them. They don't care.
Probably punch him.
Which I could see why. People are complicated, you know? People are very complicated.
Which is just painful and cringy to watch, because she doesn't really know if Dev is a scammer just from the guys telling her, but it's not like she's gonna like drop her bags and immediately fight him. This is followed by Dev explaining like how skimmers are used at a gas station, which to be honest is kinda helpful to like where to expect them, but he didn't explain how to identify them, which definitely should have, because I've seen videos of people like peeling them off and they're like nearly impossible to find if you've never seen one before. After that, they got to down with all the food, and this part you can really tell how brain dead they all are, because Tommy makes a joke and then like the guys are actually laughing at it even though it's like a pretty shit joke.
Can I get a large cheese pizza?
Pride month, so maybe some sausage pizza?
So while they're waiting for the food, they go to an ATM to empty out the account of the poor guy who's working at McDonald's, and the guy even goes in wearing a ski mask, which is definitely gonna get people to do that as well. Tommy has an moronic moment by explaining like what he learned in the video, that being like, do not get your stuff stolen, lock your account, and like you'll get reimbursed by the bank if you do get scammed. Which makes no sense because every single person knows that, but even explained early in the video how like cashiers at McDonald's will skim your card without you even knowing. So all he's really saying is like the only way to like not get your stuff stolen is to not trust anybody and never go outside.
The theme I'm getting with all of these scams is the only way to stop it is just don't let your stuff get stolen. If you lose a card, tell the bank to lock it, and the bank will reimburse you if someone like you strikes.
Yeah. The only thing is if like somebody was to wire out more than $250,000 out of your bank account, the government, they only protect up to $250,000.
FDIC insured up to 250K.
Yeah. If it's no more than 250K, you're good.
People that are watching this that say Punch Made Dev is a piece of shit, what do you say to them?
I say you, I probably scammed you, or I will soon.
What are the consequences for scamming? Like what are the penalties someone can face for this?
It could be a whole bunch of factors. A wire fraud is already one. I mean, you could do up to like 20 plus years.
Wire fraud is a federal case, right?
Yeah.
So how are you not scared to let us into your world today?
I know what I'm doing.
Does anyone in your crew have a normal job?
No.
None of you guys do 9 to 5s?
Yeah, no. Why would they? It's free money. I mean, you gotta have a way to cover it up, you know? Some of us do videos, some of us rap, some of us sell clothes.
Is this your dream job?
This is my dream job.
How long do you plan on being in this game?
Forever. It's really, I don't really.
You're gonna be a grandpa scamming people?
Yeah, I'm gonna be 70 years old, still walking in and out the bank.
When your kids get old enough to see what you've done on the internet, what do you think you're gonna tell your kids?
I'm gonna tell them life isn't supposed to be taken so seriously, so just enjoy it and have fun.
But this summary by Tommy is quickly undone by Dev, saying like how he loves scamming people, with his friends in the back of the car explaining like how this is way better than working like an honest job. And I hate this part in particular, because I know for a fact that this video is gonna like reach out to all people, in particular kids, and they want you to become a scammer just like Dev, because this video was basically a guide on how to scam people and not get caught. The video ends with him explaining like how he began scamming people by getting people to like send him money over Tinder, by him catfishing as like a hot girl, which to be honest is really on character for him. My favorite part by far is the outro, where he just repeats like the video is educational, finishing the video with him like showcasing his merch, which just looks like cheap shit. One of the products being ski masks, so people can like start right away at going to the ATMs and like dumping people's accounts. I should mention he also made a casting call to like KKK members and prostitutes. Well, he'll probably make a video showing like how cool they are. But yeah, that's where the video ends. So the most recent thing I found so far for Dev was him getting an email from the police saying like how they're like looking up information about him because like they're suspicious of him. But on his Instagram story, all he replied was just like him yawning. So in all honesty, I do legitimately hope like he gets arrested based on like what I've seen on this video, because he just seems like an awful person. So I'd hate to see him carrying on doing this kind of stuff in the future, and I do wish he gets arrested. So hope you guys a video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.